Hello students, welcome to Annamalai RIS. In this session, we would be focusing on Indian polity for the purpose of preliminary examination 2020, and the topic of the day is the Constitution of India and its comparison with rest of the world. So this is the second video with respect to the same chapter, right? So let's get started with the multiple choice question. We are under a constitution, but the constitution is what the judge says. This is said about the judiciary of. So the statement deals with the judiciary of which of the following country is the question, right? So the right answer with respect to this question is that is option C, USA, right? So in USA, the judiciary is at most powerful. Judiciary is what judge, that is the constitution is what judge says, right? So next question. A rigid constitution is one which, so these sort of questions can be expected for your prelims, right? So a rigid constitution is one. Option A, cannot be amended. Option B, can be amended only by new constituent assembly. Option C, can be amended only by 2/3 majority of members present and voting. Option D, can be amended by any procedure other than ordinary law-making process prescribed by the Constitution, right? So the right answer is option D, right? So with respect to rigid constitution, Indian constitution is having both flexible as well as rigid method of amending the constitution, right? So that has to be remembered with respect to our perspective. Next question. Which of the following statements are true of British Parliament system, right? So option first point, the Queen always acts on the advice of the cabinet. Point number 2, the Parliament can make laws on any subject. Option C, that is point number 3, the cabinet functions on the principle of collective responsibility. Option 4, that is fourth point, the House of Lords can veto legislation passed by House of Commons, right? So here with respect to, we have to talk with respect to British Parliament. The point number 1, that is Queen always acts as act on the advice of the cabinet is right. The Parliament can make laws on any subject is right. The cabinet functions on the principle of collective responsibility is right. So with respect to point number 3, it is also mentioned in Article 75 of Indian Constitution. So these 3 points are right, for 1, 2 and 3, which is also followed in Indian parliamentary system also. So the right answer is option D, right? So next question. Next question, consider the following statements. The Soviet federal structure was based upon. Point number 1, voluntary association of constituents. 2, democratic centralism. 3, right to freely cede from the union. 4, inviolability of territorial integrity of constituent republic. So with respect to this question, the right answer is option D, right? So that is 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 is right, 4th one is wrong, right? So next question, let's move on to the next question. Which of the following pair is not correctly matched? This can be again very potential question for you with respect to preliminary examination, right? So point number 1. So former USSR. So the states are called as republic, right? In Germany, states are called as cantons. In India, it is states. States are called as states. In USA also, it is states, right? So here we have to that is get into what is not correctly matched, right? So here the right answer is option B. In Germany, states are not called as cantons. Cantons are the word which are used with respect to the constitution of that is Switzerland, right? So that is why option B is wrong. Next, let's get into next question. Indian Federation closely resembles Option A, USA. Option B, Canada. Option C, Australia. Option D, Nigeria. Right? So again, this is very simple question. Again, which is very tricky also. So that is Indian Federation closely follows. That is option B, Canada. Canada is the right answer. Next question. Which one of the following statements is not correct in the context of, that is American federal system, right? So in American federal system, point number A, the powers of the states are undefined but they are not limited. So this is right. Point number B, all states possess equal rights and equal representation in Senate. So this is also correct, right? So the federal government can change the name of territory of any constituent state. So this is not at all true, right? So not correct has to be answered, right? So option C is the right answer. Point number 4, that is the residuary power are vested with the states. This is also right, right? So with respect to American Constitution, article number 4, right? So no states can be carved out of existing states unless the legislature is passed in state legislature. The legislature has to be approved by the states. That is what has to be done in order to carve out a particular state from any other state, right? So again, this can be your question for prelims. Next one. The Canadian federal model provides option A, 2 lists of legislative powers, one for the center and other for the province, and the residuary power are vested in the center. Option B, one list of legislative powers for the province and the residuary powers vested in the center. C, 2 lists of legislative powers, one for the center, the other for the province, and the residuary power are vested in the province. Option D, 2 lists of equal number of legislative power, one for the center and the other for province. Here the right answer is option A, right? So let's get into the next question. Which one of the following countries has had single citizenship, right? So this is again very important, because in India we follow single citizenship, right? So there has been talks about CRR and other aspects. So please get into this question, right? So that is how this question becomes important, right? So option A, right? So USA, B Australia, C former USSR, D none of the above, right? So the right answer with respect to this particular question is none of the above. All these countries, that is former USSR, Australia and USA, all these countries follow, that is dual citizenship. India is the country which follows single citizenship, right? So I hope you people understand the need of this question. Next one. Which one of the following statements correctly explains the meaning of checks and balance in the presidential system of USA, right? So US election has been very important with respect to the world, right? So it would happen this November, and there has been aspect with respect to impeachment of Donald Trump also. So we can expect the question from these areas, right? So checks and balances in presidential system of USA. So that has been the question, right? Option A, checking the growing powers of federal government and balancing it against the power of states. Next one, checking the growing authority of the state and balancing it against the rights and liberties of the people. Option C, the functions of legislature, executive, judiciary acting as checks on one another, creating the constitutional balance for smooth functioning of the government, right? So this is the right answer. So that is option C is the right answer. Option D for formality, right? The power of Supreme Court in respect of judicial review being kept in check in such a manner as the balance the judicial powers against the judicial powers of the state. No, this is not at all so. How can we correctly explain checks and balance with respect to presidential system of USA? So that is through option C, right? So yes, I hope you people enjoyed the session. Thank you. Please do subscribe my channel. Thanks a lot.